things that might exist. Well, I told you about these already. Well, there's lots, you know, I talked to you a lot about the big five, you know, but personality isn't that great a predictor of individual behavior, because people are very variable in their behavior from situation to situation. So the best you ever get out of a personality measure is about 0.3 or maybe about 0.4. That was discovered in 1968. There was a big hubbub about that made by Walter Mischel, who said, well, personality scales, they give you 0.2, 0.3, that's like 9% of the variance at best, so what about the other 90%, and why are we chasing such a trivial amount? And that killed personality research stone dead for till 1992. So for that's 24 years, I believe. Because everybody went, oh yeah, these are trivial effects, but then no one ever looked to see what the effects were in all the rest of psychology. Because it turned out that 0.2 and 0.3 is about on the upper end of the effects that you get in most forms of psychology, and so that even if it isn't that great, it's as good or better than whatever one else is doing. And so then there were also economic analysis, which I'll show you later, done in the 1990s that showed that because human variability in productivity is so great, especially on the Pareto distribution, that you don't need very accurate predictors for them to be extremely useful economically. Because the question might be, you know, like, so you're paying your employee $50,000 a year, and you could potentially pick an employee that was one standard deviation above the mean higher than average on conscientiousness. So with some bad measure, you know, so over 10 employees you'd get an average of one standard deviation higher, something like that. The real question is, well, what's the economic return on that? And the answer is, well, because people are so variable in their performance, when some people do, like, they're crazily productive, and others are like, they actually detract from the function of the organization, that they figure about 40% of managers add negative net value to the companies they work for. So it's like the productivity line doesn't end at zero. It's like, if you're a particularly bad manager, you can be sucking money out of the enterprise like mad. Well, it turns out that even small predictors have huge economic value. So even though they're not that good, the amount that they are good is better than interviews, for example, by quite a substantial margin. And so if you're going to hire people and you want better people, then you can use personality tests, and that actually works.